we have heard about in the news, in the newspapers, in videos, on news shows, hostesses talking about Anthony Bourdain committed suicide. Yes, he did. When he died, why he died, we don't know. I want to tell you about the real Anthony Bourdain. And I'm going to tell you my story right now. I was driving along one day and I was trying to figure out what was I going to do about telling a story about my mom and dad, Mr. and Mrs. Burns. And I came upon the thought that a documentary would be good. Well, I thought it would be good. So I proceeded to pull all the elements together and, get the videos and get the pictures and write out the script and call the voiceovers and all of that to pull a very nice documentary. But the thing was, I didn't have a title. And so I went like 2 or 3 days trying to figure out some titles for Mr. Burns. I said Burns BBQ, a smokehouse legend.
Burns BBQ, a smokehouse legend.
So I began to call different individuals together to talk about Burns BBQ, some of the well-known people here in Houston, because believe it or not, Burns BBQ became a media takeout, and that was the buzzword. Such as Sylvester Turner, J.C. Reed, and some of his close friends.
To get it open, to give to the inspector or whoever, and he and I talked, and he said, if you just let me have it, once I sell the barbecue, I'll give you money back the next day.
It is a tribute to him that these celebrities would come to Houston.
Burns BBQ, that's one of those trademarks at Acres Home, and his legacy still lives on. That's what he gave to folk, for example, at Acres Home. He gave an added identity and value to Acres Home, and that's something that money cannot.
Now, here's the thing, when I got all that together, one of the things that happened was I was still missing something. I couldn't figure out what it was in this documentary that would make it so stand out. That's what I wanted to do. And it came across me one day again when I was driving. How could I get in touch with Anthony Bourdain and see if he will either help me with the documentary or provide him with some information or whatever? I began to call some of the affiliates that I was very familiar with, and they began to tell me that no, Anthony Bourdain is not going to give authorization to use any of his work because he don't allow nobody to use his work. He just don't. He never have. And so I started calling a couple more people, and they were saying no. And some of them didn't even respond. The emails didn't come back. And if you receive things like that, you kind of get down a little bit, and you start saying, I just don't know where else to go. I just don't know where else to go to get this information. I mean, this is very hard information to get. You can't get anybody to approve it because he was the one. Parts unknown, no reservations, a cook's tour, all of that. That was him. So I'm driving along, and if I know the Beltway 8 and Veterans Memorial, and I was kind of down and didn't know where else to go, and I just didn't know what else to do. This is when I say I had supernatural wisdom from God. I have no problem saying it. And I took that information, I said, well, let me contact some people from somewhere else and see if they'll help me out. I got on the computer and I started typing, asking. And then I ran upon a name that I had talked to about maybe a year before. And I emailed him. And I said, being me, I know there's a possibility, there's going to be a no, there's going to be a no response, there's going to be absolutely not, but I did it anyway because I've learned if I wanted something to happen, I'm not going to quit. I don't give up. I find another street, I find another road until I make it happen. know if this was gonna happen or not, but I crossed the bed and I was kind of a little bit disgusted because I was still trying to baffle my mind on what could I do to make these things happen. And you know, it's about 2:30 in the afternoon. You know how it is when you get warm, you get frustrated and you kind of get down a little bit. And I laid across the bed just to refresh my memory so I can get up, be refreshed, and start over again. And I checked my email and I received the email. And I looked and I say, I got an email back. And I proceeded to read the email. This email said, I wanted to let you know today that Anthony Bourdain gives you the right and the permission to use clips of his video, A Cook's Tour, the Barbecue Triangle. Well, you know I was hilarious. I had to read it 3 times to make sure I read that right. And I was like, OMG, he said yes. Oh my God, he said yes. You have to understand what that feels like when everybody have said no. Others don't answer the emails and others don't even respond at all to your voicemails. So when this came across, this man as prominent as he was, I was ecstatic. I got up, I got the Cook's Tour video, and I began to work. I'm not going to give you all the documentary of Burns BBQ, a smokehouse legend, but I'm going to give you clips of it so that you can see that I did put it to good use, and I'm glad I did.
Burns BBQ, a smokehouse legend.
To Roy, the secret to his barbecue lies in the fuel.
Slow burning oak. Most oak. That's the secret doing the slow.
Hey, I'm sold. Nipple platters here.
Oh, that's good brisket there, buddy. His ribs are delicious, man.
Roy really understands the business.
But the main thing is I tell my customer to come back and tell me, you know, if it's bad or good. So then I'll start looking for ways to change.
Right. Well, you know, when you see cars lined up down the street, that's a good tip-off, right?
So do you see? Because he is a person that made small business owners feel good about themselves. He brought small business owners up to another level. He made people know who the small business owners was. He enjoyed what he did. He enjoyed making people happy. He enjoyed meeting with the small business owners that a lot of people that don't want to meet with. So yes, I applaud Anthony Bourdain. I really do. I thank you for allowing Mr. Burns to let the world know who he is.
Burns BBQ, a smokehouse legend.
Oh, that's beautiful.